The World Cup starts in just a few weeks in June. It's expected to bring in $40 billion across North America. Over 100 matches, 48 teams. And there is a small group of investors who know exactly where to put their money across several stocks. But do you know where to put your money to profit as much as you possibly can? That is what we need to figure out today. My name is Kevin, I'm a financial planner, and I am here to help you build confidence, clarity, and momentum in this economy. There was an article earlier this week that Yahoo Finance put out about the best stocks that you should consider for the World Cup, and it included 19 stocks. The problem is, I did this on a live stream for our members only. I looked at that list, I evaluated a few of those stocks, and from the jump, a lot of those stocks were losers. Losing 10, 20, 30%. So I have created a list for you, the people, and I'm giving it to you for free. So as we are doing that, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me to grow the channel and everything in between. All right, so let's start off with Walmart. Now, as you know, as you are here and you're going to games, all this kind of stuff, you might need equipment, hats, shirts, whatever, sunscreen. Walmart makes a lot of sense. Up 29% in the last 6 months, up 35% over the last year. I have been a fan of this stock for a long time at this point. Big Blue is what we call it here on this channel. And I'm separating this kind of in different groups, so I'll kind of bounce around. In the name of Walmart, I know there is a soccer venue near MetLife in New York, in the New York area, because I know MetLife is in New Jersey. I did live in New York though. Well, you got CVS, all right? And CVS be having long receipts. CVS in terms of receipts though, the stock is solid, up 22% in the last 6 months at the time that we're doing this video, and up 53% in the last year. Now there is a warning label. There is a warning label for CVS in that it had a pop. When I say it has a pop, I mean the stock was doing well, but it popped recently and had a big jump. That to me is a question. What happened that time? Because that jump, if it jumped 10 or 20% in a single day, that's gonna skew the numbers in one direction. So go back and see, how was CVS doing before this? I think CVS makes a lot of sense. I think they're going to continue to do well through the World Cup. Next here, you can call this a World Cup company. I guess technically, in one way or another, they are a World Cup company, quite literally, and it's Starbucks. Starbucks is up 27% in the last 6 months and up 24% over the last year. Now, this one also has a warning label. The reason why it has a warning label is the last one that has a warning label, just so you know, take the warning label off of the rest of these, is because Starbucks was getting through a rough patch. It appears that the rough patch is over. When I say that, I mean, if you go back and look at a chart for Starbucks, it looks like they're kind of coming out of it and it's relatively early. So if you get Starbucks, I think we are in the early phases of Starbucks doing well and hopefully continuing a very, very long run for many people. And again, this is my New York brand coming out. I wouldn't say I frequent Starbucks. I maybe go 8 times a month. So like twice a week at most. In either case, going on your way to a match, or you're going to work and you're watching people watch the game or whatever, Starbucks makes a lot of sense. If I didn't say it already, 27% in the last 6 months, 24% over last year. The fact that it's up higher in 6 months than in 12 months kind of gives you a sense of how well it's done more recently than what it had over the last year, if that makes a lot of sense. All right, so we've got our shopping consumer companies. Let's move over to hotels. We've got HST, Host Hotels and Resort. It is a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. All of these acronyms spell out something else. I'm sorry. Okay, but this one makes a lot of sense. People coming from all across the world to come and watch matches and events. They gotta stay somewhere, right? Including Airbnb for that matter, which is not on the list, but feel free to look that one up. It makes sense to look that one up. In either case, up 26% in the last 6 months, up 31% over the last year, including the list of hotels. Marriott is an oldie but goodie here. We used to like Marriott a lot on this here channel. Marriott stock symbol is MAR, up 26% over the last 6 months and up 31% over last year. I wish I got, you know, discounts or options or something for being a Marriott Reward member, but apparently not. Next here is a stock that I raved about. They kind of fell off a bit, but they are back, and it is eBay. eBay is up 39% in the last 6 months and up 59% over the last year. Why would eBay be here? Technically, yes, it's kind of in the, I mean, maybe you can, I wouldn't want to call it a Walmart per se. However, if you have been paying attention to what's been happening on social media, you've seen the Royal Pop Swatch Audemars Piguet collaboration. This watch thing, pocket watch thing. The reason why I'm bringing it up though is as people come here, they get, you know, FIFA World Cup gear and stuff. They're going to want to sell that stuff. They are very likely to sell it somewhere. That place is likely going to be eBay. This exact same way people do it for the Masters and all types of very special events, Super Bowls, all of that stuff is likely to land on eBay. Even if it's not World Cup specific, last I checked, it is still expensive. If you want a deal, you are going to go to eBay, so you're not paying full price because everything else is super expensive. This is the same case I brought last year when eBay was doing well about 75% of the year. So again, eBay looks like it is back. And then we have the biggest of them all, up 37% in the last 6 months, up 143% in the last year. It is Alphabet, aka Google. GOOG is the ticker symbol here. Why would Alphabet be here? Very simple. You need to know where you're going. Whether it is Google Maps, whether you are trying to find a replay of what happened and it could be on YouTube TV, which is also owned by Alphabet, aka Google. They are going to be a centerpiece for this entire thing. I need to buy more. I need to buy more of Google just because of that argument alone. But I would argue that is the most powerful stock for the World Cup because all of this is going to run through them. Again, whether it's Google Flights, whether you get here, what time does the match start? It's going to be a Google search. Where should I go? What's the best restaurant? All that stuff is going to be some sort of Google search. They do also have Gemini. I don't know how many people are using that versus ChatGPT versus Claude, but that's also an option too. All these confirmations from your Marriott hotel going to show up in Gmail. Not to mention Android phones, which a good a good bit of people have. All of it going through Google. Then you're going to watch it on YouTube TV and or YouTube itself, which is where you're watching this and where you went ahead and just hit that subscribe button. All of this on the same platform. That is the list. However, there is something you should know. While these are good for the World Cup, and I think that the vast majority of these are good long-term, especially like an eBay, a Walmart, which we've been talking about for years. I think Google's going to stay long-term. I do have a few AI stocks that are understated that most people are leaving out. You want to see what those stocks are, you want to check out this video right here.